Hi, Stuart. I have a question about time. And so this class seemed like 5 minutes. I don't know where it went. Could you talk about the elasticity of time and how that happens?
Yeah, you're right. It does seem like 5 minutes and it's almost an hour, you know. Look, when you're completely focused in the moment, when you're centered inside yourself, you know, time becomes expansive, but not in a boring way. It means that every second and every moment that you're alive, you can use your time creatively. And, I used to go up to weekends in Big Indian with Rudy, and it always felt like I was there for 2 months. And it's the same thing with these retreats I do. They're 2 days, a little over 2 days, and they feel like they're months long. uh, it has to do with the intensity of one's inner development and how focused we are on the moment. When we're focused on the moment, we really lose all sense of time. A day seems like a second, and a second seems like a year. Why that is, I don't have an answer to that, but it seems to work that way in a very wonderful way. And I've experienced it so many times in my life where, in the midst of doing, especially doing deep spiritual practice, it's also, when you're a kid, a summer seems like it's forever. Remember summers when you were young? They went on forever. You get older in the summer, in 2 blinks of an eye, it's over with. Kids are completely involved in living in the moment. Whether they're playing or eating or whatever they're doing, they're living their lives in the moment. And time extends itself almost infinitely. And, people have lost that kid in them, that innocence, that experimental nature, that willingness to try things, that ability to live their life in the moment. We're so concerned about the future, we're rankled with the past, that we lose all awareness of the present. And yet, when you live in the present, a minute seems like a year, and a year seems like a minute. And in many ways, we transcend time when we do that. Our consciousness goes above, the limitations of time. And when you're building an inner life, the whole point is to ultimately get free of time. Time, is a creation of the human mind. And once we get the mind focused and centered and connected with spirit, which is infinite in the universe, time diminishes. It really is another aspect of Maya, of illusion. And that's why, the class seemed like 5 minutes, and it was maybe 45 minutes. Sometimes it feels like 3 hours, and it's 15 minutes. I think the essence of this is the ultimate realization that time is an illusion. that's manufactured in the human mind. And our work is to get free of it, to be connected to the infinite, to what's eternal in the universe. And that transcends time. And again, it's why we build an inner life that is strong enough to do this. You know, we have to be rooted on the earth, and at the same time, we have to grow and develop consciousness that enables us to ultimately reach out of the limitations of time. And once we take our samadhi, we leave the earth, you know, I mean, we're so connected to what's infinite that it's not very difficult to surrender everything from the past. I hope this is clear. I know this is a little esoteric. Try to keep it as grounded as I can, but I think it's a really important subject. It's a subject that I don't think anyone on the earth can grasp in their head. Even Einstein one day just shrugged his shoulders and said, "It must be God. What do I know?" Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask?
Thank you, Stuart.
Don't try to think about what I just spoke about. Try to surrender as deeply as you can inside. Open, take in the Shakti, the energy. Let it build a system inside that enables you to do this. Being rooted and having strong foundation in your life, and at the same time, you know, it's like those paintings of El Greco. I don't know if you all know those paintings where you would paint these incredibly elongated figures stretching up into the sky. You know, I mean, I think he was trying to conceptualize that reality and bring it into art. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, just a few things. There's just one thing I want to mention about the retreat. If you wish to go, you let me know, and then I'm going to ask people to make $100 deposit, which will go towards the weekend, whatever it is, tuition plus living. And also, you know, this place, Stony Point, where we've done actually quite a few retreats. It's a very nice place. The people are wonderful there. You know, they serve, we're not talking gourmet delicacies there, but it's the food is decent. It's farm to table. And on top of it, you know, they said something in the letter they sent, the brochure they sent, that it kind of coincides with what I say about, they say if people in the group, anyone in the group is not vaccinated, then the whole group has to wear masks for the entire weekend. You know, and I can understand it. They don't want any COVID variant spreading there and people getting sick. So, it's not really a mandate. It's just, look, I would love it for everyone who comes to get vaccinated, to not have that situation and problem. Also, if you made a donation for that one retreat we were going to do there that never took place, that will be good for this retreat also. That's not a problem. Not a donation, but you made that deposit. I think it was $100 or something like that. That'll be good for this retreat also. Does anyone have a question?
So I just like to say that I've been to Stony Point many times for retreats, and it's wonderful. So I'm very excited that you're doing this.
Yeah, we were like special guests are there. They always love to have us there.
Mhm.
They say we bring a very high energy and they like it, and the people are quiet and simple, and so
Yeah.
they're very nice people. I really like them. Although all the ones I used to know, they're not there anymore because of COVID. They have a whole new cast of characters, but I'm sure they're very nice people.
Mhm.
Does anyone else have? Yes.
Stuart, several years ago, you gave us an exercise that has been so helpful to me. And I hope that you would repeat it for people that weren't studying with you then. And it was Nityananda, visualizing Nityananda as the tree and the branches of the tree.
Excuse me?
This is an exercise that you gave us 3 or 4 years ago about visualizing Nityananda as the tree, trunk of the tree, and teachers in the branches that we could connect with. I was wondering if you would repeat that exercise.
Chris, to be honest with you, I don't know where you got that exercise.
Oh,
I
okay.
never gave it to you.
Oh,
No, I don't know where you got that.
oh, maybe Nityananda gave it to me.
But I don't know what that exercise is, Chris.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't.
I don't want to teach something I'm not aware of. And I
Yeah,
don't really,
of
you know,
course.
know
I'm
the-
sorry. I thought that you gave it to me.
no, I never gave that exercise. I've given a lot of Rudy exercises, like breathing up into the top of your head,
Yeah.
using so hum. I mean, there's a million exercises. Plus, the biggest one is the double breathing exercise.
Yes.
I mean, if you do that one, it works better than anything.
Yeah.
But this one, Nityananda is a tree. No, I
Okay.
don't know where you got that, but it wasn't from me.
Oh, well, you're my only teacher.
Okay, does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, can you describe that breathing into the top of your head exercise?
Yes, I certainly can. It's an exercise you don't do a great deal. You maybe do it once a day. And in the middle of like a meditation session that you're doing, whether it's in class or at home, you take a simple breath into the top of your head. That will open the crown chakra. And then you can visualize seated in full lotus position, the image of your own astral being, or the image of a Buddha, or the image of meditation, teacher, guru, sitting in a state of deep meditation. And the chakra system of that energy that's at the top of your head will carry you right out into the cosmos. It'll enable you to go and contact energies that are very profound and energies that are infinite in the cosmos. So it's a simple exercise, but this is a very powerful exercise. So don't spend your whole day doing this. You'll blow your brains out, But in the middle of a class, you can do it once. You breathe into the top of your head. And then just visualize your own astral being sitting in lotus position there, or a teacher, Rudy, Nityananda, myself, and and allow your soul force to move through the chakra system of that visualization and come out the crown chakra and allow it to flow into the universe. It will connect you with what's infinite in the universe. If it fails the first dozen times, don't worry about it. It takes practice and you have to learn how to do it. But it's an exercise I learned from Rudy. It's a very powerful exercise and an exercise that works in a really profound way. There are other exercises he taught about the heart chakra and how to surrender, negative psychic tension and other things, which come. But this one to the top of the head is really a profound exercise. And as I say, don't do it like 20 minutes in a row. You do it once.
Stuart, during that exercise, is there still some attention below the navel or not in that particular breath?
No, you keep 90% of your attention below the navel. You understand? It's not the mind that's going to go into the cosmos. It's the soul that will go into the cosmos. I mean, look, I just want to ask you all, 90% of what I teach, don't try to understand. Don't try to rationalize it, figure it out. Just it's energy, it's pure energy. It's there to nurture you, it's there to give you a deep inner life. It's there to truly give you that, connection. Like, it's like, that whole thing of the tree of life, where the seed of the tree is in the third chakra. And then that tree, maybe that's the exercise, Chris, but it had nothing to do with Nityananda. The tree grows inside you.
Yeah.
And its branches extend endlessly into the cosmos.
Yes.
That's an exercise that I do.
Mhm.
But I don't visualize Nityananda. I don't want to turn Nityananda into a tree.
Yes, I think
That's a very good exercise. You visualize the seed of the tree in the hara,
Mhm.
and then you let that grow, and the chakra system becomes like the tree of life.
Yeah.
This is a very Islamic thing also, the tree of life. You see it in so much Islamic art. Sufi thing.
Mhm. Kabbalah too. Yeah, thank you.
Does anyone else have a question they would like?
Stuart, when you talked about breathing to the crown chakra, did you say that you just do it once and it's enough?
Once
Or
is enough.
once is enough? Okay.
Don't do it more than once, because I'm telling you, this is what I just told you. One of the reasons I don't talk about this is very, very powerful. And, if you do it 20 times in a class, the energy, the fire could get so strong in you that I don't want any damage to happen to anybody. You do it once. In the next class, you do it once. And over time, you will master it. But the important thing is you got to stay grounded. You have to stay grounded because these energies are really powerful. So, stuff like LSD and ayahuasca and all this DMT, this is really dangerous stuff because it activates the same channels but there's no grounding inside people. And that energy is so powerful, it can just, blow somebody's head right off their shoulders. So just, everything has to be done in moderation.
Mhm.
Does anyone else have a question? Oh, I'm glad you take this session. This is a very good, very good to have this with all the rest of those, the 450 others that are on Facebook. Man, for a guy who never goes to Facebook, I sure have a presence there, I tell you. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
I have a friend client that comes and sees the pictures of you in the house and asks about the meditation, and I said, well, go to the website because I think some of your things are posted there. And I just,
The
recordings are posted there, right?
Yeah, they can go to the recordings.
Right. Now, also, I had gotten a copy, what in Tony's email, a couple of the recordings via, you can link here, here. So I wanted to ask, it's okay to just send her to the website or send her one of the recordings of class and check it out before she contacts you.
Christine, that's what they're for.
Okay.
It's better that they go to my website, they go to those recordings, those videos, and learn a little bit about this and see if this is for them,
Yes.
That's what all those, there's 450 of them, I think, something like that, on, that people can go to. And the purpose of those things is it's like an education. People can go and listen to these things. And I get people, all the time that email me, text me. I went and saw these videos. My God, I really identify with what you teach, and all the time I get emails like that. So those, they're not, breaking the internet in viewership, but they are attracting people who do have interest,
I just wanted to make sure, and then if she's interested beyond that, she can contact.
She can get in touch with me and I'll arrange for her to learn the breathing exercise.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And, just to add to that, it's good to get new students. It's good for people to come and do this. It brings a whole new energy, a new vitality to the class. I think it's a very good thing. And I'd like to just end this with, look, people I have been like shocked this week at the gratitude that has come to me from people and the donations they're making to help me live my life. And I can't tell you how grateful I am, to see people supporting what I do. I was kidding around. It's either that I got to open another art gallery, or at this point in my life, I don't see how I can do that. And it makes me very grateful that people care, that these classes are possible, that this internet thing is taking place, this Zoom thing is taking place. And I just want to express my thanks to all of you. It's just really touching to me, and it really touches me deep inside to see that kind of gratitude in people. And honestly, it's more than ever now,
Mm-hmm.
right now. And I'm just very grateful. Something's working here. Something is really working here. And I'm very grateful to all of you. I'm grateful, as I say in every class, your presence is here. Your presence is demanding that I talk about breathing up into the crown chakra exercises and all kinds of things like that. And I think that, hopefully everyone's benefiting, and I certainly am benefiting from this. So God bless you all. Thank you. And there'll be a class tomorrow evening. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Stuart.
Stuart. God bless you.
Thank you,
so much.
Stuart.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Good night.